गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि माधवा कुञ्जविहारी जय माधवा कुञ्जविहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधमाधवा कुञ्जविहारी जय राधमाधवा कुञ्जविहारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शन जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रामयी जय सुदर्शन जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन बतकामी नयन बतकामी भवतु मे सिंहदेव जय नृसिंहदेव सिंहदेव जय नृसिंहदेव जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभु जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय वंशपाद अभय चरण श्लोक के जय इस जीवन श्री भक्ति श्लोक की जय ISKCON founder Acharya B.B.T. Manjara Srila Prabhupada के जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव के जय रामाचार्य शील हृदय प्रेम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत श्री वासई गौर भक्तवृंद श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपकुंद राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरिवर्धन के जय वृंदावन मद राधा के जय माधुर्य जगन्नाथ के जय भक्तवृंद के हरे कृष्ण all glories to Assembled Hare Krishna, all glories to Assembled Hare Krishna, all glories to Assembled Hare Krishna, all glories to Shri Shri Guru Namaha, all glories to Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, very good morning to all. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we will be discussing third canto, chapter 9, verse number 13. So let me share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen now. So let me reset the verse and you can follow me. Pumsam ato vivida karmabhir ad varadhyar dhanena kagra tapasa parchir yayasha आराध्यम भागवतास तव सत्क्रियथो धर्मो अर्पितः कर्हित विर्यते न यत्रा याथा पुंसामतो विविधा कर्मभिर अद्वरध्यान पुंसाम अतो विविधा कर्मभिर अद्वरध्यान दानेन काग्र तपसा परशिर ययाशा दानेन काग्र तपसा परशिर ययाशा आराधनं भगवतस्तव सत्क्रियतो आराधनं भगवतस्तव सत्क्रियतो धर्मो अर्पित कर्हित निर्यते न यत्रा धर्मो अर्पितः कर्हित निर्यते न यात्रः पुंसामतो विविधा कर्मभिर्भरद्यात् दानेन कक्र तपसा पर्षिद्याय च आराधनं भगवतस्तव सत्क्रियतो धर्मो अर्पितः परिषिध्यते न यात्र. Synonyms: Pumsam, of the people, Atha, therefore, Vivida Karmabhi, by various fruitive activities. Adavara Advaha Adhyahai by performance of Vedic rituals, Dhanena by charities, Sha and Ugra very hard, Tapasa austerity, Parchiryaya by transcendental service, Sa also Aradhana worship, Bhagavataha of the personality of God, Tava your Satkriya Saptaha simply for pleasing your lordship, Dharmaha religion, Arpitaha so offered, Karishit at any time. Mrihate, man kisses, na, never, yatra, the translation purport by is Devan Kesh Eshi Bhakti Mandasam Shloka Ki Jai. Translation. But the pious activities of the people, such as performance of Vedic rituals, charity, estate finances, and transcendental service, perform with a view to worship you and satisfy you by offering you the fruitive results are also beneficial. Such acts of religion never go in vain. Perfect. Absolute devotional service conducted in nine different spiritual activities: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, praying, etc. Doesn't always appeal to people with a pompous nature. They are more attracted by the Vedic superficial rituals and other costly performance of social religious forms. But the process, according to the Vedic injunction, is that the fruits of all past activities should be offered to the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned 9.27. That's we will definitely. The Lord demands that whatever one may do in one's one's daily activities, such as worship, sacrifice, and offering charity, all the results should be offered to Him only. This offering of the results of pious acts unto the Supreme Lord is a sign of devotional service to the Lord and is of permanent value, whereas enjoying the same results for oneself is only temporary. Anything done on account of the Lord is a permanent asset and accumulates in the form of an unseen pity for gradual promotion to the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord. These undirected pious activities will one day result in full-fledged devotional service by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, any pious act done on account of the Supreme Lord is also recommended here for those who are not paid devotees. Hare Krishna. Om Shanti Hare Krishna. Om Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna. So kindly repeat me the translation. But the pious activities of the people, such as performance of Vedic rituals, charity, estate finances, and transcendental service, performed with a view to worship you and satisfy you by offering you the fruitive results are also beneficial. Such acts of religion never go in vain. So this in previous chapter, if you go through right, there is a manifest energy Brahma got created by Garbhodaya Vishnu. So in this chapter, so after the creative energy, so Brahma started glorifying the Lord, you're the Supreme Lord and everything. So if you refer previously we come to know. So in this verse, what the Lord says is, the Brahma says, absolute devotional service conducted in 9 different spiritual activities. One is hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, and praying, but doesn't always appeal to people with a pampered nature. They are more attracted by the Vedic superficial rituals and other costly performance of social rigid source. But the process according to which intention is that the fruits of all pious activities should be offered to the Supreme Lord. Exactly. So whatever the answer is here only. So whatever we do in the daily activities, we have to connect with it. Just like we see in the next line, in Bhagavad Gita 9.27, the Lord demands that whatever one may do in one's daily activities, such as worship, sacrifice, and offering, charity, and all results should be offered to him only. This offering as a result of pious acts unto the Supreme Lord is a sign of devotional service to the Lord and its permanent value. Exactly. So the answer is very clear here. So whatever we do in one's daily activities, like worshiping the Lord and offering, whatever you eat the food, and whatever you do the yajna and sacrifice, and whatever you do the charity, even the clearly mentioned the Bhagavad Gita in 18th chapter. So we have to give the charity to very qualified brahmanas based on time and place. So everything defined in the Bhagavad Gita. So when you even for the even for the non-devotees or like those who are practicing or madhyama adhikari, so when you practice this, that is like when you keep everything as center, such as worshiping the Lord and sacrifice, offering charity, and everything, when you offer the result to the Lord, right? So at one day will become a very paid devotees. That's also Brahma says, even Prabhupada says, this offering of the results of pious acts unto the Supreme Lord is a sign of devotional service to the Lord and is a permanent value. This kind of asset. Again, Lord Krishna says in the second Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, right? This gonna help in is gonna helping us in the dangerous, the fear. What is the fear? You can see like a Sulpam Mahodobha. So when you do even like a small amount of devotional service, whatever we do, even when you cook for the Lord, even when you do like a charity, when you do like everything we connect with the when we connect with Supreme Lord Krishna, right? Um, he's gonna like a product from the dangerous way, that is a death actually. Is kind of actually is already mentioning this on the purpose is a permanent value and asset actually, yeah. So what says in the 9.7, let's refer this here. 9.7. Yet karosi, yet ashnasi, yet hosi, tatasi, yet tapashyasi, kaunteya, kat kursa mat arpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever activities you perform, do the person of India as an offering to me. Purport just it is duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. Everyone has to work for maintenance of his body and soul together. And Krishna recommends herein herein that one should work for him. Everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, he should accept the remnants of foodstuff offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some religious ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna recommends, do it for me. And this is called Archana. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give to me. And this wisdom or surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering the Krishna conscious movement. Nowadays, people are very much inclined to the medicinal process, which is not practical in this age. But if one practices meditating on Krishna 24 hours a day by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra around his deeds, he is truly the greatest meditator and greatest yogi, as substantiated by the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Answer is really clearly explained in Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever activities you perform, do that for son of Kunde as an offering to me. There are, I want to refer to two examples. That is, as everyone aware of this, the past times. One is from Thiruman Galwar, and other from our one of the wonderful Prabhupada disciple, that is Jayananda Prabhu. So first I will go through the Kurat Alvar. He is the one of the Alvar. There are 12 Alvars, right? So one of the Alvar is the incarnate of Mahavishnu actually. And so everyone knows the Srirangam temple during the Meghalayas, right? So they occupied everything. The deity went like in the forest actually. So there was no place to offer in the Lord. There was no temple also that time. So the deity was in the forest, like in the very the kind of in a worst situation. So all the Brahmanas, they fear to go that far because a lot of cobras are there and then animals and everything. So because of that, they couldn't offer. So Tirumangalar is by birth is a Kshatriya. So he was working for the kingdom, and he realized that okay, something we have to do actually. So and then so what he did, right? So he was working for the kingdom. So basically, like he will go to the nearby status, nearby state, and collect the tax. So those who are unable to pay the tax, so he will put in jail. That's how the system was done during this time actually. So everyone has to pay the tax. So something like that. So what happened, right? So when Thirumangalwar, so he realized actually, okay, the Lord is, like not even, it's not getting the proper food, proper offering. There is no proper worship. And then he felt, okay, fine. So let me construct the temple for them. And then initially, right, he started, collecting all the tax. And then so he started constructing the temple. Exactly. So whatever he got collected, then he was using for the temple. So somehow the king came to know that okay, by Thirumangalwa. So he started whatever the money collected from the nearby tax, and then he tax money, right? So he is using for the temple construction actually. So then what happened, right? So the king, the want him. So where are all this money? And then he simply said because there is no temple. So I wanted to build a temple for the Lord because there was no offering, there was no proper offering. All this far because the Lord is saying the far side, so the one is going there, and then so we need a very good temple. And then the king refused, no, I can't use this actually. And then so finally, so there were a lot of argument between the king and the Kuratalva, not Kura, so Tirumangalva. So there were a lot of argument actually. So finally, they also arrested him actually. So finally, somehow he came out actually. And then so he felt that okay, they were so he was approaching each and everyone in the king itself and to the citizens. So he was begging. So please, can you give me some fund? So we need to construct the temple. So no one is willing to give. Even they know okay, we have a lot of responsibilities, and then so we can't give. So as usual, like how the typical in our not normal colleagues when someone offers for the temple donation or anyone, whatever we'll say like I have some commitments, so we have responsibilities. So no one is willing to help actually. So what? And then so he felt okay, fine. So he got like a four very when the Lord sent like four very special people. So one is like he can walk on the water. So another one is he can walk on the shadow. So one is he can open any lock actually. Yeah. So there is in Tamil they say Neerlim Nadapan. And another one is he can walk on shadow. I don't know how to say in Tamil. Another one is he can walk on he can open any lock actually. So Tirumangala is a Kshatriya. So he go with all these disciples. Is a personal disciple, and then so those who are passing the country, the place, there is a border. The people, those when they come right, he used to like steal all this. What to say? Like he used to take all this jewelries and everything, and then and like he was collected all this wealth, and then he started constructing temple actually. So that's how like so huge. So if you see, even if you go to the Sri Lankan temple, there are all these the pillars was constructed by Thirumangalwar. Yeah. At one day, like when even though like after he collected the temple, when he started to construct the temple, like even he was begging and then he was eating the Lord Prasadam, and even he never even like utilized the money the for his own purpose. So whatever he got collected actually from the citizens or anyone from the kingdom, not anyone whatever still right. So everything he was using for Krishna conscious purpose. He was constructing temple at point, right? So even he didn't take a single penny from this money. He was begging the Lord, he was begging alms, and he was eating the food on daily basis. Yeah. So even he didn't use for single penny for his own purpose. At one point, what happened? So all these disciples, so they got a kind of okay, we got so much of money, we got collected actually. So let me let ask Tirumangala to give us a share actually. So and then all these three or four disciples they approach Tirumangala. So anyway, we work for like we work together. So we need our share. So at one point, because he is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, is Alvara, one of the Alvara, and then he felt okay, fine. If I give the share to them, all these disabled, so they're gonna misuse. No, if they misuse, right, again they'll end up in like a material full of life, and so they'll misuse the fund, and then so again they'll forget the. So what? he said, okay, fine. So tonight, come to the Kollidam actually. So I'll do the share actually. So what he did in Thirumangal, right? Kollidam is a place, where they will kill, in Thirumai, if you go to Srirangam or Trichy, there is a place called near to the Kavach, there's a place, Kollidam. Kollidam is they where they kill people. I don't know exact the context of this. So Kollidam means in translation they say like, Kollidam. This is the where the people kill actually. So Thirumangal, he all um, took all this disturbance in the boat actually, and then he somehow he put in the water actually. Yeah. So and then they went to the back to garden. So that's what happened actually. This is the one pastime as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever activities you perform, do that for son of Kunti as an offering to me. So exactly, Thirumangalwar, he did whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, everything he was offering to the Lord for constructing the temple, even though he didn't use a single penny for his own purpose and everything. At the end of even the in this past in Thirumangal, so because the Lord was so much pleased for his devotional activities, so uh, the Bhudev and Sri with Thaya, right? The Vishnu and the Thaya, actually the Lakshmi also, they came as a normal citizen actually. So what happened to Thirumangal? He started stealing the jewels from even Vishnu and like Lakshmi also actually. So and that's in the night, right? So when Tirumangala, so they were catch hold of Mahavishnu and Tayar. Actually, they came as a normal citizen. So when Tirumangala, right, he was trying to steal his jewel from the Mahavishnu, but he couldn't lift so much of weight. And then he was asking the citizens, so what man? So even I couldn't. So what is this actually? And then somehow he realized that he saw in the Vishnu Rupa actually the Lord himself actually. So this all the possibly happened because the Lord was so much pleased. The Lord was so much pleased by his devotional activities for all these disciples. That's why they followed him with whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, or give away, and whatever activities you perform. It's all they are setting the example. It's only for mentors. This is only for meant for us actually. Even the Tirumangala is the incarnation of the Lord. He came as Alvar. Just he's setting the example exactly. So how we can how we can progress in those activities by whatever we do all these activities by working whatever even the in our office work or in the business or even the when you do any sacrifice any yajna we conduct or whatever we cook or anything right just we keep center the Krishna and connect everything to the Lord and improve devotional service. So when you do everything you'll become karma yoga. So when you become karma yoga slowly will become paid devotees on one day. Yeah. So all this process we have in the says in the Bhagavatam, right? The nine structure. So hearing and chanting and worshipping and archanam, everything. So we will achieve this, the process of devotional, the practice, and they will become paid devotee. When so if you follow all this, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do the one as son of Kundi as an offering to me. The second one is I want to tell about is Jayananda Prabhu. So everyone aware of Jayananda Prabhu. Right? He is the one the consider the first chariot for the San Francisco Rath Yatra during the 1970s for Prabhupada. So he is the one like give the first service to our Guru Maharaj. His soul is Japatan Guru Maharaj. He met actually. So he is typically like he is a car driver. He is a taxi driver. So he was spent a lot of time with the Prabhupada and then he was in LA only. Still you can see in I was in LA for 3.5 years. Still you can see in LA like his room is there actually, yeah, where he stayed and then where he passed away in where he spent the last days and then he passed away in the room actually. Still you can see the room actually the Jayanda Prabhu. Yeah. So Jayanda Prabhu is an amazing devotee, very humble, very meek. He know how to engage everyone in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. So he got an amazing attitude. All because when Prabhupada actually says, if you read Prabhupada Lila Murta, Prabhupada says all these disciples, they all came from Vaikunthas, all they came from, assisting in spreading the Krishna consciousness actually. So Prabhupada says actually. So Jayanda Prabhu is such a way that so he works in the whole day and whatever the money comes, right? So he give to Prabhupada actually. Exactly. So I think in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the first the set books also. So he helped to print it actually. Yeah. So he is a typical like a so he was setting example how we can work in Krishna, how we can work in outside also, and then how we can engage in everything in Krishna conscious service. Yeah. As said in the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever activities you perform, exactly you are doing everything for you're following the uh, whatever Krishna in in this slogan 9.27. So whatever he was doing, everything he was giving to Lord Prabhupada actually for spreading Krishna consciousness. Yeah. So these are the like a amazing two amazing two personals. One is like a who is a Thirumangalwar, another one is a Jayanda Prabhu, another one is the Kura Talwar actually. Kura Talwar like so when who, hmm, when Ramananda took sannyasa, he was reckoning for a disciple, and then he heard from like a Kura Talwar. So Kura Talwar and his wife daily like they use like a lot of dhana actually. Never like whoever comes right. So they were helping a lot of brahmanas. Like they used to give a lot of girls. They say like kind of a Mahalakshmi. They were the Mahalakshmi residing in his home, Kuratalar home. So daily they used to distribute a lot of girls and then cows and then charities. They do a lot of yajnas and everything. So from morning to night actually the four goes right. So he'll be a lot of charities actually. So and then he heard about Kuratalwa, and then he went to his home actually. So and then all this the Kuratalwa and his wife they paid obeisance, and then so he was asking, so what do you want actually? And then what to say, Raman said, okay, I need people help actually. I need you guys to help spreading this the Krishna consciousness, whatever this everything. So they did Acharamana, and then so they dedicated themselves actually entire things. Yeah. So typically, like we have many the stalwarts. We have in our sampradaya actually, where many where they're setting example how we can uh, follow this principle of whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever activities perform. Oh, what that was enough then as an offering to me. I know the olden days they were setting example like Tirumangalwar and Kuratalwar and Jananda Prabhu. They all they all they sent by especially by the Lord, and they were setting example. Exactly. Even though like they didn't use single penny for their own purpose. Even Prabhupada also like he was at one point like he was considered like 108 temple actually during the time. Like he didn't like use for your single source for his own purpose actually. All even he was if you see like a few of the picture you will see like if you see like normal typical like Maya sannyasis they say they'll get it. No, we don't want money everything. No, these are like Maya everything they say. Prabhupada actually he said, okay, I want more money because he wanted to construct the temple. He wanted to, like publish more number of books. That is like Igda Vairagya. He was, he need more money, more thing for to spread the Krishna consciousness. It's not like a Maya and Maya. No, these are all like false. They say like no. We should get it out. This has the money. We don't use it. But here the Prabhupada exactly he was everything using for the Krishna's purpose. Everything like a doubt till everything in Krishna consciousness, everything. Whatever you do actually, yeah. Whatever the money is there, okay, fine. If you have more money, you do the temple for the temple construction. If you have more money, help in the like a BBT for the book distribution. If you're good in cooking, if you're good in cook, open a restaurant. Or like offer more food and then offer to the Lord actually. If you're doing yajna, if you're good in sloka recitation or you want a priest, do it for Krishna actually. So whatever you do austerities, right? If you do austerities, so you do fasting for Ekadasi and many festivals, because everything when we connect to the Krishna actually here, right? Like say we'll become like a Krishna one day, and then we'll achieving that. So there is amazing pastime when he's only the Jayapadama Swami Guru Maharaj actually when he came like 2000 I think 11 or 12. This is like a typical like how when that time like we are all staying in the base actually all devotees close like 20 devotees. So when Guru Maharaj after the stroke happened, right, so he came to Bangalore after the second time I think he came. So that time like after marathons we distributed close to like 1000 or 2000 books, and then so we invited Guru Maharaj. So that time Maharaj Krishna also there, and then so Guru Maharaj agreed, okay, fine. So that time like he went to the ICC temple also for the ground opening ceremony. So and then so that time like Mahar the Guru Maharaj secretary said actually, so Guru Maharaj cannot climb the first floor because the time we are based on first floor and second floor because we had close to 20 devotees, right? So what we did is so we requested the tenant, the ground floor tenant. So we cleaned the entire house. We cleaned up. So we prepared like a lot of bhoga actually, huge bhogas. because first time Guru Maharaj coming to base, even though he had a stroke and then he had a discomfort in his body, and then he had and then somehow by Krishna's mercy, somehow we committed. Okay, fine. We invited actually. We went to Anukul Pro house. We met Guru Maharaj, and then okay, we told like we are staying 20 devotees. But Guru Maharaj was merciful. Exactly, he wanted to encourage everyone. Whatever he does, he wanted to encourage all the devotees in the base, and then so he wanted to improve, and he wanted to give us mercy, and so it's kind of like he has a different personality, Guru Maharaj actually. So when he came, and then so we were cleaning the house, and then so somehow we got Guru Maharaj actually. So we prepared like a huge number of bhoga. Again, there are like many other devotees, congregation devotees also visited our house at the base. So all in the tenant actually, we did an amazing program. So Guru Maharaj, if you see, he's only Japatam Guru Maharaj. So there are many bhogas actually. Even the doctor said so he can have only certain things because he has to follow certain diet items during this the discomfort of the body because of the stroke, right? So he cannot have a more salt or sugar anything. So even the secretary told so you have to prepare in such a way that actually so you should um apply to Guru Maharaj actually. So we prepared everything amazingly. So there are like many notices that came. So they prepare like a lot of stuff. So there are people they brought popcorns and then they brought in some people rice, and dals and sweets and everything. So those who bought it, all the concrete, so he don't hurt anyone. So just he tested each and everything like a small piece because that you can see the level of this compassion actually. How is whatever they prepared actually he was engaging like so your student offering to the Lord and then to him also sees how he's encouraging. At one point, like we prepared one soup actually, and then he liked it. He gave, so he tasted everything. So by mistake, like instead of we put a little extra salt actually, a lot of salt. So Guruma even that time also he didn't hurt actually, and then he said right. So we were thinking the last he drank in the entire soup actually, and then Guruma said so the soup was very tasty actually. Only thing instead of I feel little extra salt. That's all, yeah. So the way they gave the statement, it was very pleasing to us actually. The how he has really was. If you see like karmi, typical karmi, if you go to any hotel, right? So what we'll do if you get if you're drinking the soup, if you feel more salty or more sour or more like chilies, right? Immediately we call the server or the hotel owner or we'll start shouting actually. So there is a way of dealing with the even we can say, sir, okay, fine. There is a I feel like a lot of salt or more chilies or it's not good. So can you change exchange actually? Yeah. Some people will say all depends how we deal with the matter based on time and circumstances. So Guru Maharaj, right? He is the way of uh, conveying the devotees to everyone because he wanted to encourage everyone. He wanted to see his compassionate actually. So and then he felt such a way that so he not hurt anyone. So he said like everything is perfect. First he was encouraging each and everyone because we prepared a lot of bhoga and then he gave a lot of thumbs up actually. So he was appreciating each and every devotees and then so what we are doing and then he was encouraging each and everything. How many people distribute and how many we were doing all the youth program and he was appreciating it and then he was giving lecture for 10 minutes and then so the way he is dealing with the devotees, right? So how would like the compassionate actually? He wanted to give the mercy. He wanted like he wanted to hurt anyone. He wanted to encourage everyone and improving Krishna consciousness. Yeah. So that's how how there's not like a setting example. Yeah. So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give, whatever activities you perform, even though Guru Maharaj had a discomfort, he was as kind of austerities. You want to improve our Krishna consciousness. He gave an amazing example. Like how we can typically uh, follow in this Kali Yuga actually. Yeah. Even Prabhupada says right. So whatever you're earning, right, at least we have to give the 50% of the income to the Lord. I know it's very difficult for all these gragas or those on gragas or those are like the practicing devotees. So we do. So but still like a 50% is very that's why the Rupa Goswami said right. Rupa and the Goswami said this like 50% for foreign savings like for personal purpose. The remaining 50% you have to give for one for the remaining 15% for the temple purpose. Like one for our own like a cousin and friends we have to use. So we have to divide these income such a way that actually so we can uh, use it for our own purpose and Krishna conscious purpose also. Yeah. So we added everything. Yeah. So everything is there actually. It's up to us. Like how we want to like a word actually. Yeah. So if you have the proper association and the proper guiding, right? So we can achieve this. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever activities you perform, do that Vasan of Kunde as an offering to me. It's all depends upon our attitude. It's clearly saying NOI, right? The Krishna consciousness of the person is depends upon the attitude of the follower. Yeah, it depends upon their attitude. Whatever we discuss here, right, in this sloka, like 9.13, and this the link verse of Bhagavad Gita 9.2, it depends upon attitude of the follower. Yeah. I may be like a very high-fi stalwart devotee or Uttamadhigari, Madhyamadhigari, Kanishari. It's all depends upon uh, my attitude. Exactly. So I have the formulas. Everything given by the Lord. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever aspects you perform, do that. Son of Kunde as an offering to me. So I have the formula. I have the lot of examples in the Srimad Bhagavatam pastor. We have a Trimangal also is an example, and Kuru Talwar, even all our own acharyas and Prabhupada, everyone. Yeah, I have the formulas. I have the materials ready, but it's up to me whether I'm gonna follow me or just gonna do what to say we don't do show off anything like, but still we have all the formulas, we have all the materials, but it's still up to us whether are following or not actually. So if you don't follow, again we'll be end up in the same pool of the material life, birth and death actually. So it's not like a birth and death. So we'll be end up in we don't feel taste in Krishna consciousness. That is, we can see if you're not a proper association or if you're not a proper attitude to follow this, which I realized, I also feel the same. So if you work too much and then like if you do like a lot of ukra karma, like not even after earning like too much, if you're not even unable to any help any Vaishnavas or not engage in Krishna, any menial service or any small amount of service to the Lord or any in the Vaishnavas circle, right? So we feel little dull in Krishna consciousness, and then slowly we'll be what do you say? We'll reduce our chanting, and even our chanting also will become a kind of a dry state at least. Yeah, we don't feel like you can always feel go back before taking initiation how we felt like the blissful in Krishna consciousness when there is no offense at all. Actually, we were chanting, we were trying for a lot of rounds actually after taking initiation. When you start offering the Lord and then devotees, and then when you do service, when you start offering, so when you start working too much actually, so when our attitude are slightly changes, right? So we feel like a something like a little dull in Krishna consciousness, and then we slowly we'll give up, we lose our little faith, and then we'll start judge the devotees, and end up with we start we stop coming to the temple. So this is like a typical process. So it's all depends upon that's why it clearly says in the Rupa Kosam in NY, it depends upon attitude of the follower area. This is for like everyone, for start from the um, Kanishta Adhikari like Uttam Adhikaris actually. All this, so this is a common formula. Everyone actually, because the real say everyone here to go back to garden. The formula is that's all, yeah. So everyone, that's the reason we have all these formulas. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever activities you perform, do that was enough. This is like a simple. So no need to yeah, right. We can read the 12 cantos of Bhagavatam, and we can by heart all this sloka from the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, everything, any important. But the formula is very the clear, very simple, crystal clear. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, actually. So we have the formula. So we have all the material. It's up to us whether are we going to take, are we going to follow, or just we'll follow like a 50% of when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, right, is like filling the water in the empty the pot has a hole actually. So what happens? So when you fill the water, the pot has a hole. So the water will go away, right? The water is gonna, we're gonna lose the water. Same thing. So again, either it become like a the pakka spiritualist, or become a karmi, the pakka karmi actually. So we want to become like a kind of a monkeys actually here and there. Yeah. So when you have such a consciousness, when you have such attitude, right? So here and there like a kind of a off yeah. So here 50 even we don't work properly because we'll become lazy because no, I want to go to temple and then stay better. I'll take prasham and then I don't do any service. But so again, that is not a work actually. So again, the here in spiritual also no, I don't Krishnamitra, I don't like complain, I don't like to chanting also better. I will simply, like I don't do in service center. I simply sit here and sit idle actually. And then like something like we'll take a lot of commitment. Okay, I chant like 64 rounds and everything. So it's not like even Prabhupada time there are many devotees. They said a better Prabhupada's not teaching like high level bhakti, better I'll chant 64 rounds. And then so they were had a they are put in like a small kind of they're staying alone actually, and after some time then they left Krishna consciousness something. So it's all depends upon our attitude. So if you have the proper association, if you have the proper attitude, if you have the proper when you have a deal with all this very mature in Krishna, so we can achieve this. We can achieve this formula of whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, because we have many stalwart devotees in our movement, and we have a lot of pastime also. We have everything is there. Yeah. It's up to us. Yeah. So how you uh, take up the process and what to say improve Krishna consciousness. Yeah, even if you have the pastimes of the Govardhan pastime, even the during Vrindavan time, so they're worshipping the Lord Indra, and then so Krishna intervened, and then so wait and then we can worship Govardhana. So how when the Indra got angered, and then so they were worshipping Lord Krishna. So so when you have such a faith, okay, fine. Krishna says everything in the Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavatam through his Bhagavatas actually when you show the Bhagavatas. So when you take this the instruction as a life and soul, when you take the right, so when you have such a faith, when you have such attitude, so we can achieve this each and everything. The process will become easier for me. We can also feel the blissful in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Because everyone, we are missing the main reason in the Krishna we are missing the blissfulness. Yeah, because we are missing the blissful actually, because we are not following, because or myself I can say, because uh, is kind of 50-50. It's not even perfect 50%, not perfect spiritualist or perfect karmic actually. Yeah. So that's the problem. So everything will become off cooked actually here and then. So when you follow this formula and material line, so as Krishna is giving guarantee, so we can achieve the Krishna consciousness easily, and then one day will become pure devotees. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So any questions, any comments, criticism, please. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. Yeah. Thank you for time. Then thank you for listening. Patiently. Yeah. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk something about internal concept. Forgive me for anything to say. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी, सबके तरफ से हरे कृष्णा सभी को।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.